But there are, for interview room specific, there are 3 questions, very repeatedly asked questions are there. You should have clear clarity from this area also. Sir, first, here there are three things I will explain. The first one I will explain, what is the difference between new and new instance. Both are the same. Have you observed? Here new instance, both are the same. Purpose is also same. We can use a new operator to create object. We can use a new instance method to create object. Then what is the difference between? So we should have clear clarity. One thing. Second one, we have instance of, is there or not? Instance of operator is there. In Java we have is instance method also. Is instance method also. Sir, what is the difference between these two? Is nothing but like it's also similarity in the words. So similarity in the purpose. There may be a maximum chance to ask this type of questions in the interview room. Third one, sir, class not found exception. Class not found exception versus no class def found error, like there may be a chance to ask class not found exception, no class def found error, like, are you getting? So how you can, so what the difference between these things? The most valuable, especially for the interview room. Keep subheading first one, new versus new instance. New versus new instance. New versus new instance. New instance. Okay, just legend this point. Sir, we can use new operator. Sir, we can use a new operator to create. We can use a new operator to create object. So we can create any class object by using new operator. Okay, we can use new instance method to create object. Then immediately you may ask, sir, already new is there. What is the need of going for new instance? You may have the picked out. So simple, just observe this one. I want to create test class object, student object, customer object. How we can create by using new? Not required to keep much explanation. Test T is equal to new test. Sir, test object is ready. Next, student S is equal to new student. Student object is ready. Customer C is equal to new customer. Sir, customer object is also ready. Like, we can use a new operator to create object. Okay, the test object, student object, customer object, like. Then, sir, already new is there. We can able to create by using. We can able to create object by using new operator. What is the need of new instance method? Simple point. There are some places where we can't use a new operator, right? There are some areas where we can't use a new operator. So in that particular case, we have to run the show with the new instance method. Assume that new instance method is not there. Assume. Then we have only new operator. We have only new operator. New instance is not there. Now I have one requirement. Can you please tell how I can create object in this requirement by using new operator? New instance is not there. Leave that. Okay. Assume new instance not there. My requirement is, sir, I will pass class name. I will pass class name from the command line argument. Here the command line argument I want to pass. So if I pass student, then my Java program has to create student object. If I pass customer, then the Java program has to create customer object. If I pass student or otherwise string, now my Java program has to create string object. Are you getting? So I don't know class name at the beginning. The class name is available at runtime dynamically, either from the command prompt or from the file or from the database, from somewhere. At runtime I know class name. For that class I have to create an object. Are you getting? Is my requirement. So in this case we know class name at the beginning, but now in my requirement I don't know class name at the beginning. Suppose let me write the code for that. Yes, sir, I'm writing class test. Analyze most valuable concept. I'm taking class test. Curly brace open. Class test curly brace open. Public static void main string array args. Public static void main string array args. Okay, dot like I'm taking, this is my test class. Here my requirement is, if I pass a student from the command prompt, our Java program has to create student object. If I pass customer, then our Java program has to create customer object. If I pass a string, then Java program has to create string object, is my requirement. I don't know class name at the beginning. Sir, if I am passing like Java test, so student, in this case student object is required to create, because I am passing which one as the command line argument? Student. Sir, Java test customer, Java test customer I am taking. So which object which class I am passing from the command prompt? Customer. So then Java program has to create customer object. Java test java.lang.string. Then Java program has to create what? String object. Can you tell what is the code? I don't know about new instance. Forget about new instance. We have only new operator is there. Can you tell how I can create an object here? What code I have to write in this place? Correct. I don't know about new instance. I know only new operator in Java. New operator, right? Can you tell what is the way how I can create an object? New operator only I have. I don't know about. I don't know class name at the beginning. It is available at runtime, from the command line argument, or from the file, or from the database. We don't know class name at the beginning. How I can create an object by using new operator? Can I use the word something like, sir, args of 0, a is equal to new args of 0, like this? If I can take like compiler will give left and right. Is nothing but what this is, it is Java code like compile time method you are going to get, because new operator after new class name is required. What is this args of 0, variable part and so on? No, it is not, it is invalid Java syntax, right? Then what is the way how I can create an object by using new operator? Are you getting? So I don't want to waste your valuable time. Make sure it is impossible to create an object by using new operator. In this case, new operator we can use if we know the class name at the beginning. Sir, I know class name. Can you please create test object? Can you please create student object? Can you please create customer object? Is nothing but like, if we know class name at the beginning, we can create an object by using which operator? New operator. If we don't know class name at the beginning, and it is available dynamically at runtime, then only it's available dynamically at runtime, then new operator we can't use. So to handle this type of requirement, we should go for which concept? New instance method. Are you seeing the importance of new instance method or not? There are some cases where we can't create an object by using new operator. Then to handle such a type of situation, we should go for what? New instance method. Sir, okay, well, can you please write the code for this requirement? Very, very simple. Here see this one. Here I am taking, forget about, so here let me take, okay, forget about this, at last you can able to get. Sir, can you please load this args of 0 class and create class object like what I have to do? Class dot for name of args of 0. Now this one returns class object. If I pass like this, it will load student class and returns the corresponding class object. Okay, this and returns class class object. There is one Java class is there named with the class. Okay, class object. On that class object, now we have to call which method? New instance method. On that class object, we have to call what? New instance method. Now, you know, if I pass a student, now this one is going to create student object. If I pass customer, this one is going to create customer object. If I pass a string, this one is going to create string object. Are you able to understand? But this which object it's going to create based on your runtime requirement. I don't know which object exactly. That's why what reference I have to use is nothing but object reference. So here object are you getting? Object reference we have to use, so that object O is equal to class.forName, because it may be student object, customer object, string object or integer object, anything parent reference can be used. Are you getting that? So even though I don't know class name at the beginning, it is available dynamically at runtime, still I can able to create an object by using which method? A new instance method. Is it clear for all of you? Look at this, sir. I want to add one more line. One more line. System.out.println SOP of object created, right? Object created for the class. Object created for. Okay. If you know object reference, sir, I know object reference. How to print corresponding class name? You aware? Can I spell out? If you know O dot get class, O dot get class dot get name, O dot get class dot get name, like object created for so and so class, object created for student, object created for customer, object created for string, like we are going to get. Is it clear for all of you? Okay, this now, but class dot for new instance throws several exceptions, right? That's why I'm not interested to handle any exception. Let me keep one wonderful word. What is that one? Throws exception. Throws exception. So there is one small thing I have to explain. Yesterday after my exception handling class, there are several students came and asked one important question. Sir, what is the difference between throw, throws, thrown? Are you getting? So, sir, we took Nagur sir FAQ's book. In that Nagur sir FAQ's book, throw, throws, thrown, there is one bit is there. What is the difference between throw, throws, thrown? Several students asked. Immediately, even, so, make sure you should aware, if any person is asking what the difference between throw, throws, thrown, don't create your own stories. In Java, we have only throw and throws keywords, but not a thrown keyword. Thrown keyword is not there in Java. That is what you have to tell. Are you getting that? So that is the answer for that question. Okay, this is yeah, just like your academic exams. You are going to create some big story about thrown keyword. Don't do that. Thrown keyword not there in Java. Okay, this is. So I hope you people took Nagur sir FAQ's book, right? Actually, which is meant for SCJP actually. SCJP, but anyway, so if you are not getting, better to get from the office free of cost only. A small FAQ's book, very helpful for you. I only prepared some chapters there. Okay, make sure. So object created for O dot get class dot get name, like okay, this is make sure. So now let me execute this code. Here 1 minute, just a cross check. Sir, here I am taking class test throws exception. Throws exception. Like object O is equal to can I spell out the code? Class dot for name of x of 0 dot new instance method. Now system dot out dot println. Okay, system dot out dot println object created. Now object created for, okay, like O dot get class dot get name is nothing but like we have, right? Okay, O dot get class dot get name, like we are taking here. See, sir, I'm taking, but let me take some class student, because I want to create student object also. Class student, next and after that class customer, like I'm taking. There are student and customer also. Let me compile this code. Java C test.java. Yes, the code compiles fine. Java test. Sir, I want to create student object. Student like this. Java test student. Now, object created for which class? Student. Correct or not? Now, sir, I want to create for customer. I want to create for customer. Then automatically object created for customer like okay this. Sir, I want to create object for string. Java.lang.string. Java.lang.string. Sir, object created for string is nothing but object created for Java.lang.string. Are you able to understand? Even we don't know about class name at the beginning. It is available dynamically at runtime. There is no problem at all. We can able to create object by using what? New instance method. Are you getting? Now, can you tell what is the difference between new operator and a new instance method from this discussion? We can use a new operator. We can use a new operator to create an object. We can use a new instance method to create an object. But when exactly we have to use a new instance? If we know the class name at the beginning, then we have to go for what? A new operator. If we don't know class name at the beginning and it is available dynamically at runtime, then we should go for what? New instance method. Is that terminology clear for all of you, right? So both meant for creation of an object, but there is a difference is there. Okay. So can you tell what is the basic difference between new operator, new instance method? Now that terminology is clear. If it is a new, if you know the class name at the beginning, then we can create an object by using new operator. If we don't know the class name at the beginning and it is available dynamically at runtime from command line argument or from the file or from database, if I know class name at the beginning at runtime dynamically, then we can go for by using new instance method. Clear for all of you? But there are some more differences are there. Okay, if interview person is asking, sir, what is the difference between new and new instance? That's all, up to that is more enough. But still, let me add some more things. Sir, can you explain one scenario where we can go for new instance method? Where we can, usually, can you explain one scenario, real time scenario where this type of thing is helpful? Best example, here see this one. I have one web application is there. I have one web application. Can you tell in Java based web application which things are there inside? Right? Java based application, which things are there inside that application? There are several servlets are there. There are several JSPs are there, XML files and so on, right? Now, I am sending the request. HTTP, localhost like //test1 like with URL pattern, I am sending the request. Now, who is responsible to create servlet object? Web container, servlet container, servlet engine, web container, all are interchangeable, no problem. So, who is the responsible to create the servlet object? Web container. Is the web container create servlet object at the beginning or at runtime? At runtime. Compulsory is nothing but at runtime. That's why, do you know? But for which servlet I have to create an object? Web container don't know until runtime. Whenever the request came, then my web container is going to identify URL pattern. In the web.xml it will search what is the corresponding servlet. Now for that servlet, web container is required to create an object dynamically at runtime. Correct or not? That's why, so web container will use which method to create an object? Is nothing but to create servlet object. Internally it will use new instance method only. Are you able to get? Because the reason is web container don't know for which servlet the request came. At runtime, based on URL pattern, for the corresponding servlet, my web container is responsible to create an object. Are you getting right? That's why until runtime, web container don't know for which class I have to create an object. That's why web container internally will use which method to create servlet object? New instance method. Are you getting? Sir, I don't know. class name until runtime. At runtime only I will come to know. For that I want to create an object. Then compulsory we should go for which method? New instance method. Is it clear for all of it? One scenario where new instance method is helpful. Okay, this is. So web container until runtime don't know for which servlet it has to create an object. That's why compulsory web container will use a new instance method. Okay, this. Next term, there are some differences between new and new instance. Other than this standard, there are some differences are there. Legend this point well. First difference especially. Sir, here I am creating test object. Test T is equal to new test. In this case, test object will be created and which constructor will be executed? Test class no argument constructor. Correct? Test class no argument constructor will be executed. Suppose my requirement is okay. Test T1 or T1 is equal to new test of 10 I am taking. Then test object got created and which constructor will be executed here? Now which constructor will be executed here is nothing but int argument constructor. Okay, assume test class should compulsory contain int argument constructor, otherwise the code won't compile. Yes, test T2 is equal to new test of okay Durga, like I am taking. Then which constructor will be executed in this case? In this case a string argument constructor will be executed, right? So in the case of new operator, we can invoke any constructor based on our requirement. No argument constructor, int argument constructor, string argument constructor, double argument constructor based on our requirement, right? Okay, we can invoke any constructor. But in the case of new instance method, have you observed new instance method is a fixed method. It never going to take any argument. New instance method never going to take. By mistake, if I am passing argument, compile time error you are going to get, because new instance method can't take any argument. Then how you can pass 10 Durga, this type of terminology, right? Make sure inside new instance method, internally it is always going to use a no arg constructor only. Are you getting? New instance method, it's always going to invoke what? No argument constructor, because we can't pass the arguments, right? So to use a new instance method, compulsory class should contain no argument constructor. If no argument constructor is not there, then we will get runtime exception saying instantiation exception. In instantiation exception, like a runtime exception by default we are going to get. And are you getting? So there is no such type of requirement in the case of new operator, but in the case of new instance, to use a new instance method, compulsory the corresponding class should contain no argument constructor. This no argument constructor can be default constructor generated by compiler or explicitly provided by programmer. Okay, this is make sure compulsory it should be either by compiler or by programmer, but the class should contain no argument constructor mandatory, right? Okay, this is. Now in this example, have you observed here? In this example, class student, class customer, like we covered. Sir, I created student object and customer object. I created student object, I created customer object, I created, right? But now, is the student class contain no argument constructor or not? Yes. Yes, because if I am not writing any constructor, then compiler will generate what? Default constructor, which is the no arg. That's why no problem at all. Is the customer class contain no argument constructor or not? Yes. Is the test class contain no argument constructor or not? Yes. Okay. Now observe. Let me remove these things. Sir, I want to create test object only. Is the test class contain no argument constructor or not? Yes. Now observe Java C test.java. Compiles fine, no problem. Java test and test only. Sir, I want to create test object only. Yes, object created for test. Because in the test class no argument constructor is there. Now here observe. Sir, test here see this one. Test system.out.println no arg constructor I am taking. No arg constructor like I am taking. Okay, just observe 1 minute, 1 minute. Just observe this one. The code compiles fine. Okay, Java tester. Have you observed? Internally, nor constructor called or not? In the case of new instance nor, suppose assume my test class contain int argument constructor. Are you getting int argument constructor? Is the no argument constructor is there or not? Not there. So if I am writing any constructor, compiler won't generate default constructor. So test class doesn't contain no argument constructor. If no argument constructor not there, have you observed? Yes, see, happily the code compiles fine. But at runtime, have you observed? Here exception in the thread main. What is that exception? Instantiation exception. Okay, this is the problem what you have to identify in the case of new instance. Are you seeing the difference, right? Yes. In the case of new operator, based on our requirement, we can invoke any constructor. But in the case of new instance method, internally it is always going to use which constructor? Nor constructor. Compulsory the corresponding class should contain no argument constructor. Otherwise we will get runtime exception saying instantiation exception. Do you know the people who aware servlets, every servlet class should compulsory contain argument constructor, correct or not? Okay, they say every servlet class should compulsory contain argument constructor because of this reason only, because internally web container is going to create an object by using new instance method. New instance method require no argument constructor. Every servlet class should compulsory contain no argument constructor. Is it clear? Okay, this is one difference between new and new instance. One more difference is there, that may be the last difference. Legend. Just so that I can finish this new and new instance. Just observe. Only one more difference is there. Suppose tester T is equal to tester T is equal to new tester. Tester T is equal to new tester. Yet runtime, if a tester.class file is not there, as I am creating an object by using new operator, yet runtime, if the corresponding class is not there, tester.class file is not there, then we will get runtime exception saying no class def found error. No class def found error colon test. Are you getting at runtime? We are going to get runtime exception saying no class def found error colon test. Clear for all of you, right? Okay, this is. But if I use new instance method, sir, here observe object O is equal to class dot for name of args of 0 I am taking dot new instance, like this line is there according to our code. Sir, I am taking Java tester. Can you please create test123 class object? Test123 class object. At runtime, if a test123 class is not there, then we will get runtime exception saying class not found exception. We will get runtime exception saying class not found exception. Are you getting that? Okay, this is class not found exception for test123, right? Class not found exception is the checked exception. Compulsory we should handle either by try catch or by throws keyword, otherwise the code won't compile. But no class def found error is unchecked. We are not, because error categories are unchecked, we are not required to handle. Are you getting the point, right? Okay, this is. So to use a new instance method, of course while using new instance method, at runtime, if the corresponding dot class file is not there, then we will get runtime exception saying what? Class not found exception. Okay, this is just this point well. Sorry, the same. Is just observe public static void main like. Sir, here Java C tester.java tester dot class file is there or not? Yes, object created for tester. Next Java tester 121213 test 121213. There is no such type of dot class in my system, I am sure. Then what will happen? Here can you please observe what will happen? Exception in the thread main. What is that exception? Class not found exception, which is the checked exception, of course. Class not found exception we are going to get. Anna, very important question for the interview room. Have you observed? What is the difference between no class def found error and class not found exception? This point is also covered. If hard coded class name, sir, I hard coded class name in my program, hard coded class name not available at runtime, we will get no class def found error. Dynamically provided class name not available at runtime, then we will get what? Class not found exception. Class not found exception is the checked exception. No class def found error is unchecked exception, right? You are getting? So what is the difference between new and new instance? Internal differences also is nothing but clear, I hope.